In this video, I'm going to walk you through the best cold outreach strategy on LinkedIn in 2024. In fact, it's really the only cold outreach strategy that I still use. Most of the rest that you see on Google and whatever are kind of oversold. And don't even think about just typing in, send me some outreach scripts in ChatGPT. So the following outreach strategy, it's just a sample of one of the strategies that I'm teaching 38 students inside LinkedIn AI Mastery. Just basically, when students turn these campaigns on, they've been booking 4 to 5 sales calls per week in the first week after they get turned on, after the campaign gets turned on. It's that effective. So if you have an established B2B business, you make more than $5,000 a customer, and you have 3 to 5 hours a week to invest in LinkedIn customer acquisition, then send me an email on the email on the screen with the word LinkedIn, and I'll send you a couple more details about how we can help you grow your business. So let's get into it. So the strategy is called value first. So what we need to do is implied in the name. We give value first, loads more value than people would expect, and certainly not just asking them to hop on a call after a 5-second a 5-second pitch. So what value looks like is giving them something useful. So what you want to do is think of your ideal customer. You obviously have that clear in your mind. You want to write up an ultimate guide or whatever that can be very useful to them if they implement it. It should have enough information so that they could take it, maybe not do it as well as you, but take it, go away, implement the steps, and get something like the same result if they had the time to do it themselves. So here's an example of one I did previously. So it's how to get customers on LinkedIn in 2024 using AI. Bit of an introduction, some social proof. So the social proof proves that I'm worth listening to, i.e. I'm not just talking nonsense. I've actually done this and I've got results, and here's proof. And here's some more specifics. Okay, I booked this amount of calls, I've got this amount of leads, blah, 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 whatever it might be, whatever results are relevant. Then you call them to action once, which basically says move them towards booking a call or whatever your goal is. Then you give the value and you break it down in a lot of detail. So again, you go into, it depends on if you're doing a high level guide or a specific case study, but go into enough detail so that they can take it, go away and do it themselves. Include videos, and don't just do like blank text on a screen. I usually do these in Notion, and I add headings and videos and everything to break up all the text to make it readable. It just makes it easier for someone to follow along. If they just see a wall of text from the top, they probably won't click it. They probably won't stick around. And then another CTA at the bottom, whatever your CTA is. Okay, so we built that. It's for a specific person. Next step is building the list in LinkedIn that we're going to send it to. Now, I said specific, so I'm going to go through an example for my ideal customer. If I have a ghostwriting business alongside LinkedIn AI Mastery, I'll go through the process of if I was outreaching to those boutique B2B marketing agencies, this is what I would do. So I need to build a list that's specific to those. So I want the word, I'm going to use Boolean up here. That's one thing we need to definitely have. So I'm going to put a word which is agency, because I want an agency founder, not a firm, because mentally they think differently about their business. And I don't want recruiters, so I'm going to go not recruitment. That one's fairly straightforward. Then I have the size of company, so I'm not just putting in everyone. I want 1 to 10, ideally 5 to 10, but you can't pick that on LinkedIn, so this will have to do. 5 to 50 would be the ideal. I'm going to put in seniority because this is a specific job role. The more specific we are with this, the more effective the message will be when we send it out on LinkedIn, and I'll show you why and how in a couple of seconds. We are in the geography, so we want to talk about, mine is relatively open. You could go more specific than this. The more specific, the better. If you're selling to a local area, that would be brilliant as well. Put that in here and make sure it's mentioned. Pick the industry, and for mine, I don't want people who are kind of too old because they won't really get it, and I've experienced it being more difficult for them to see the value, and I don't want someone who's completely inexperienced. So I want someone who's been in the game for about 3 to 10 years. I found that's kind of the sweet spot for me. Turn on post it on LinkedIn, because you don't want people who are dormant. You're wasting the messages that you're going to send to them. And that's it for my list. You can get more or less specific depending on who you're targeting. I'd suggest having about 500 to maybe up to 2,000 people in the list. Any more than that, then your list is kind of too wide. The more specific you are, the more replies you'll get. However, it takes more work because you have to build more lists. So aim to get about 500 as a minimum, and that will at least give you a few days of sending to send it out to. The next thing we need to do is this might sound simple and you've maybe heard it 100 times, but we need to make sure we need to make sure our profile is optimized so that when the people who you just put in that list land on it, they will find it interesting and they will go back and read more about what you're talking about. Because whenever you send a message to someone on LinkedIn, the first thing I do, is I go on the profile, see what they're about, and see if they're worth my time, basically. So everyone will do that to you. So you have to make sure your LinkedIn profile is specifically talking to the people, or at least talks to the problems that they can associate themselves with, which will mean they will probably follow you, but also reply to your message, which is the most important in the short term. Once you've done that, it's about the script. So we need a script. So what are we going to say? And this is kind of where the money is. So this is the template I'm suggesting you go with. I just need to move my face. So what we're going to do is just send them the guide. So it's going to be, hey, first name. I just put together a guide for a specific avatar on how to desired outcome using unique mechanism or service. Here's the link to the free guide. Link, and this is an important one so you can get a lot of responses quickly. Reply keyword if you'd like help setting this up or something along those lines. So here's my example. Hey, first name. I just put together a guide for boutique marketing agency founders on how to get an extra 3 to 5 clients per month from LinkedIn in 2024. No paid ads required. So that's my outcome that I'm proposing, and that should be reflected with what's inside the free guide. Here's the link to the free guide. Provide the link. Reply LinkedIn if you'd like help setting this up. You have the option to collect emails here. I would suggest if you're selling a B2B service, do not do that. You want to get eyes on the guide as much as possible, and then you want to optimize for as many replies as possible. If someone replies LinkedIn, you can assume they've read the guide. You can assume they're qualified because they've been on your list in the first place, and then we start the sales conversation. We start to qualify and move them towards booking a sales call. Now the last thing is sending the messages. So you can do this manually. You can just see whenever you can manually connect with someone. When they accept your connection request, follow them. I choose to use software to do this. I use Expandy because that's the one that hasn't let me down in the past. So I'll just give you a quick look inside my Expandy. So this is a campaign, for example, that I've been running. I've only been running it just for a couple of days. We've seen a 43% connection rate, so it's sent only 9% of the people on the list, and 43% of those have accepted my connection request. That suggests that my profile is optimized so that, and enough for them to be interested in learning more and basically connecting with me so that I can message them. You can get super fancy with how to do these campaigns. I recommend just keeping it simple. If you're just getting started with cold outreach, just do a connector campaign. No connection request. Send the script from the last screen in the second message, and then you can choose to follow up as well if you want. Say something like maybe 5 days later, did you find the guide useful? Would you like help setting it up again? And I would cut it at that. Don't keep sending messages after that. You'll just come across as spammy, and the whole value first premise will be gone. So as I said, people inside LinkedIn AI Mastery are booking 4 to 5 calls within the first week and getting this campaign set up. You can do the same. Here's a couple of testimonials from the people inside. I could keep scrolling, but I won't. So if you want to learn more about the program, if you meet the criteria on the page and you want to learn more, either click the link on this video if it's on YouTube or wherever you're watching it, or send me an email on the email on screen saying LinkedIn, and I'll shoot you across some details. We've limited spots. I want to make sure that the quality of everyone's experience is high. So if you're interested, send me a message and we'll take it from there. Thank you.